We're going to make our way through this parts bin over here, which is mostly suspension bits. Ignore that timing cover. So this is mostly suspension bits from the front and rear of the 59, and some other little bits thrown in there, like bumper brackets. But anyway, we are going to start tearing down the vertical links. So I don't know if you want me to take a video of this or not. It's fairly straightforward. I can take you along the way if you like. Maybe we'll do a quick video. It might help somebody along the way. Alright, here we go. First thing we're going to do is we're going to, there are some locking tabs here on these bolts holding this back brake caliper back plate to the vertical link. So we're going to pound out the locking tabs and we're going to remove these bolts. That will release the steering arm from the back and it will release the caliper mounting plate. Alright guys. Alright guys, hope you can see that okay. So as I mentioned, we've pounded down the lock tabs on these fasteners, and through the magic of television I've pre-loosened the fasteners a little bit. Why, you might ask? Because the last take I pulled the vertical link right out of the vise trying to get this one off, so we restarted and loosened that just so you wouldn't have to watch me struggle. As it is, you're going to have to watch me undo these bolts anyway, so that's struggling enough. Alright. The short one. This is the one that was giving me trouble. This is the one that captures the dust shield. This usually has a nut on the back of it. I've already removed the nut. Hopefully this will unthread okay. It's coming. That's the problem with a 56-year-old car, especially one that's been driven or imported to Canada, driven in Ontario, probably in the winter. Driven hard, put away wet, and then sat for 40 years in a barn. So I don't need to go to the gym. This is my my monthly gym membership. Almost. You guys said you wanted to see videos of me actually doing stuff, so here we go. Or maybe you meant exciting stuff. This isn't exactly exciting. I'm watching a few YouTube videos. I see Mr. Peak's getting a lot of snow. He's getting a major blizzard where he's at. I don't know how many times he's plowed. I think he likes plowing, actually. I'm watching Chevaholic. I'm watching Fatster Cat with Camaro. I'm watching Mr. Heavy Chevy. I'm really enjoying that project. Oh. Okay, this one's got a nylock on the back of it. See if we can get that wrench to spin and catch on the vise. There we go. They didn't cheat that much. They're not that loose. Nope, just lost my wrench. Somebody asked me if I use my air tools. I do sometimes, but for the most part, I take stuff apart by hand. I don't know, it's just more therapeutic or something. I don't know. I'm not really in a hurry. Sometimes if I feel like I'm getting a little lazy, I'll break out the air ratchet or the impact gun, whatever. Alright, there goes the Now there's a spacer for this. It might be stuck on the back. We'll find it after. There's a nut on the floor. And this one's also got a nut on it. You notice that these studs that come out of the top two are not equal length, but it's kind of apparent when you go to put the steering arm back on that where the longer one goes, the short one won't fit. So you really can't make a mistake. But I just thought I'd mention it. My back's a little sore tonight from taking that tumble yesterday in the garage. So usually I like to sit down to do this kind of thing. And I have a stool, but alright, so I'm going to pull that out. And there's the spacers that I was talking about. And there's the other spacer, so don't forget to put these away. You'll need to put those back on. So there's that. There's that. Those you'll get new ones of. Alright. So this should actually, if I give this a bit of a tap, should come off. There we go. That's the caliper back plate. So that just comes off. That leaves us with sort of the vertical link with the stub axle. The stub axle needs to be pressed out, so we'll leave the stub axle in for now. But you can take the trunnion off. So to take the trunnion off, you need to take off the steering stop. So we'll do that. We'll just put this in here really carefully. We're not going to really crank it down, just enough to make it stand up. Alright. And I think that's a 1/2 inch wrench. I've got one here. Yep. Alright. Usually they're not in there that bad, but let's drop this down a little further. That's as far as I can go. This is on the sides of the trunnion. I still have a couple of the thrust washers in there, so it should be good to give this a little bit more of a tightening, so I can get that out. There we go. So the steering stops will need to be redone when you get the car back together. They're a little bit off center, so they're sort of multi-positional. You can adjust the steering stop where you want it, so it doesn't rub on the frame. So we'll get this out of here, and all you do now is to get that trunnion off. It's just a matter of turning it off. You don't need to count turns, so you're just going to spin that off. Hopefully you guys can see that. You can check for wear, actually. It's a good idea. See if you need to replace your parts. I generally just give this a bit of a wobble test once I get it screwed back up here. So I'll back it down one, and I'll see if there's any play. And actually that's pretty good, so we should be able to use that. So anyway, we'll just unthread it carefully. There you go. So there's the bottom trunnion. So we can, there's a couple of, like I said, thrust washers on here and oil seals. You can pull those off like that. And then this can be cleaned up. So a little brake cleaner, degreaser, whatever. You can take out the bottom Zerk fitting, and we'll clean this up. And I'll show you what it looks like once it's nice and clean. That's kind of the fun part, is cleaning these up. Alright, we'll be back in a bit. Just so you know, guys, I'm fairly familiar with these cars now, but I still label parts and put them away so I don't get them screwed up. So I'll throw everything in one bag and make sure that we don't get them mixed up with the passenger side, just for reference. Alright guys. Alright, we're back. Here's what it looks like. I don't know if you can see that very well. That's what it looks like after it's been degreased. Oh, missed the spot. Excuse me for a second. Poor workmanship. Put that on the blooper reel. Alright, it's better. Alright, so that's what it looks like. Oh, you can see that. It's pretty dark over here. So it's just degreased like I mentioned. So what we'll do now is we'll hit it with the brass brush, and we'll come back after that's polished up a little bit, and we'll show you the end result, and then we'll go in all happy and content. Alright guys, there they are in all their glory. They look 100% better than they did, and they look to be serviceable, which is even better. So yeah, that's it for tonight. We'll upload this. We'll get back out here tomorrow and continue on the suspension. We'll talk to you later.